Back on Get Up, our game of the night had the Cowboys hosting the Giants on Thanksgiving. Late in the third quarter, Dallas has a 14-13 lead. 2nd and 5 from the Giants' 26-yard line. Dak Prescott rolls left, and he finds C.D. Lamb, who hauls in the one-handed catch. Take another look, traps it against his helmet, comes down with the catch. Big game for C.D. Lamb. Cowboys set up inside the 5. And then Dak Prescott will find Dalton Schultz, the tight end, off of play action. This was Schultz's second touchdown of the game. Cowboys are up 21-13. Just over 12 minutes to play now. Same score. Cowboys with 2nd and 9 near midfield. Dak Prescott rolling right finds it wide open. Jake Ferguson, who hurdles a defender and picks up 30 yards. You've got to see this again. Ferguson, big night for all the Dallas tight ends. He has the hops. The Cowboys have a new set of downs. Same drive, Dallas is facing a 3rd and 11. Dak firing it over the middle for C.D. Lamb again. 23 more yards. Cowboys moving the chains. Lamb had 106 yards on 6 catches. Under 5 minutes to play. Cowboys. Wait a minute. The Cowboys scored here. We didn't have that. Anyway, trust me on it. Peyton Hendershot, tight ends playing whack-a-mole. Under 5 minutes to go now. Same score. Giants, 2nd and 10 from the Dallas 38. Daniel Jones sacked by Micah Parsons. 2nd sack of the day for Parsons. Cowboys win 28-20 on Thanksgiving against the Giants. And we're talking Cowboys. We are thrilled to welcome in Stephen A. Smith. How you doing?
How you doing, man? How's everything?
Everything's good.
Thanksgiving.
I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Other than the Cowboys winning.
Oh, it's no big deal. I knew they were going to win this game. Giants don't have any weapons.
All right. Well, did you come away more or less convinced about Dallas as a real contender?
No, they did nothing to convince me more, per se. We know that they're one of the top 3 teams in the NFC right now. We can't deny that. We got to give credit where credit is due. Obviously, their defense is real, particularly against the pass. When you're in a pass situation, a must-pass situation, you know what? They're going to make mincemeat of you. They're going to come after you, Micah Parsons and the rest of the crew. We get that. Offensively, Gallup looked pretty good yesterday. There's no doubt about that. Give him credit where credit is due. Schultz is a weapon that Dak Prescott likes to rely upon. C.D. Lamb can't be ignored because obviously he's trying to elevate himself into a legitimate number 1 receiver. But the level of competition you're going against matters. And the 7-3 record that the New York Giants have, or had at the time, listen, the bottom line is they're not that good right now. Daniel Jones, did you see some of the throws that he was making? When he's got his feet set and he's standing in the pocket with no pressure, sure, he can look good. But when you force him out of the pocket and he has to be on the move and make any throws with any degree of accuracy, he's not going to do it. He showed it last night. As far as I'm concerned, when I looked at him yesterday, I said this is not the quarterback of the future. Brian Dable has to get somebody else to be the quarterback of the New York Giants. Not this season, but looking forward, moving forward in the future. He's just not that guy. Not unless you have a couple of elite receivers and a big-time offensive line. If you don't have those two, Daniel Jones is not the guy because he is not the guy that can make things happen for you. He's basically a guy that can capitalize off of ideal situations. But anything that's not ideal, he's not your guy.
They are shredded right now by injury at offensive line and wide receiver.
That's right.
So 6 games left. Like, how do you evaluate, if you're the Giants, Daniel Jones over these 6 games? Are you saying it's already done?
To me, it's already done because I watch him and I'm just looking at him and I've been watching him for the last couple of years. And again, when you know this better than me, you cover this team, when he's scrambling out of the pocket, where's the accuracy? He's throwing at people's ankles, he's throwing at people's knees. There's no timing, there's no pocket pressure, there's no feel for pressure in the pocket. You just watch him right now. Literally, you are dropping back to pass. You are a right-handed quarterback, and he's blindsided by somebody coming right at him in this direction to his face. He doesn't see it. He just doesn't have it. It's not that he's not talented. It's not that he can't run with the football. It's not that he's not a big body. It's not that he can't make things happen from time to time. But when you're talking about the quarterback position, you have to have a degree of consistency. And the fact is, that's not him. We all knew it, and the Dallas Cowboys exposed it yesterday, even when they were down at the half. Did anybody doubt that Dallas was going to come and really ramrod them? You just knew it was inevitable. If anything, Dallas's coaching, their arrogance, the fact that they were taking the Giants for granted was what shined in the first half. In the second half, they got themselves together and did what they were supposed to do all game long.
So you're talking about the coaching. We've talked about the penalties. It's been brought up, McCarthy, some of his decisions yesterday. Like, how much confidence do you have in Dallas to figure that stuff out and overcome it?
Well, first of all, the confidence that I have when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys is that just be patient. They will fall. They will fall. Now, I understand it looks good right now, but just be patient, relax. When they go up against better teams, more elite teams, the Philadelphia Eagles, the San Francisco 49ers, they definitely come to mind. If Tampa's defense continues to play the way it's been playing in recent weeks, and obviously they get themselves together offensively now that Tom Brady's got some of the stressful situations behind him, and he's looking even better over the last few weeks. As that continues to elevate, we shall see. I'm not sold. I know how big time talented the Dallas Cowboys are. I'm not a fool. But at the end of the day, I'm going to lean on history. And over the last 27 years, they have shown us what can go wrong will go wrong. It's what they do. We just have to be patient and just wait, because it's coming.
What about the quarterback? You look at Dak Prescott right now and say he's playing at a championship caliber level?
No, I don't. I look at Dak Prescott as a damn good quarterback. Somebody who can be a playmaker, who can be a difference maker, who can help you, no doubt about it. It was never an issue for me that Cooper Rush was as a backup, was going to be a starting quarterback. There's going to be some quarterback controversy. That was utterly ridiculous. We know what Dak Prescott is. We know this brother can ball. But he also is prone to make mistakes. And at the end of the day, like, for example, look at yesterday. Sure, it wasn't a big deal, but 2 interceptions is 2 interceptions in the first half, okay? Playing against better teams, what would that cost you? You got to ask yourself that. Yeah, it didn't matter against the Giants because they're anemic offensively, and there's but so much they can do because they're bereft of weapons, primarily due to injury. But in the end, when you're going up against, let's take San Francisco, for example. I got questions about Jimmy Garoppolo, no doubt about that. But you know who I don't have questions about? I don't have questions about Kyle Shanahan. I don't have questions about George Kittle. I don't have questions about Deebo Samuel. I damn sure don't have questions about Christian McCaffrey. So when I look at it from that perspective and the physicality that they bring to the table, well, the way you bum rush everybody else, if you're the Cowboys defense, particularly against the pass, you ain't going to be able to do that against San Francisco. I don't think you'll be able to do that against the Philadelphia Eagles either. So those are the kind of things that I pay attention to. It's the level of competition. Yesterday was no indication of that. Dak Prescott, let him throw 2 interceptions against one of those teams and then come talk to me.
You mentioned Michael Gallup earlier. He's playing yesterday like a guy that heard they were looking at some other receivers.
Yeah.
We have heard all this Odell Beckham stuff from Cowboys ownership, from inside the locker room. Do they need to go get him?
Well, they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be good enough, aren't they? Haven't they told us they're good enough? I think Jerry Jones said they're good enough. I think that Dak Prescott has said they're good enough. I mean, they've been talking all of this stuff, but yet you're going to go out there and get Odell Beckham Jr. Now, obviously, he's going to help because I personally believe that Odell Beckham Jr. would have been a Super Bowl MVP had he not gotten hurt. You just saw him coming. Just the first 2 catches that he had, you saw that he was on a mission, and it was going to be special in that Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals. But he went down, and I understand that. But Michael Gallup has been behind the scenes for a long time. First it was with Amari Cooper. Now it's with CeeDee Lamb. The brother can play. He's had some injuries, but Michael Gallup can ball. And we all have to understand that and respect that. Does Odell Beckham Jr. help them? Potentially. I don't think there's any question about that. It's an additional threat. But when I think about Odell Beckham Jr. with the Dallas Cowboys, here's what's getting on my nerves. And I want to say this because Odell Beckham Jr. is somebody that I know and I got a lot of love for. Stop playing games. You want to go to the Cowboys, go to the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, stop acting like you out here being Jerry Rice and you've not missed games and you always available. You've missed quite a boatload of games over the course of your career due to injuries. If you know you want to go to the Cowboys, stop sitting there and trying to market yourself to a whole bunch of other people. You haven't been here. You've been too injury prone. You got to show that you can get back out on the field and get healthy. Remember, that was a non-contact injury he suffered in the Super Bowl. He didn't get hit. He just went down. And that can happen to anybody. But guess what, Odell Beckham Jr., it has happened to you, and it could happen to you again. At the end of the day, OBJ, right, those letters are special, and we know what you bring to the table. But you got to show up on the field. Enough of this talk about Odell Beckham Jr. and what he's going to do. You know what? You got to get on the NFL roster and remind us of your greatness. Because we ain't seen you in a while. Hurry up.
You got to go get ready because you got Michael Irvin rolling in about 20 minutes on top of first day. I imagine he'll be a little fired up today, no?
He's always fired up. I mean, this is the guy that said it was going to be so fly at SoFi last year, swearing the Dallas Cowboys were going to the Super Bowl. And then they lose to San Francisco in the playoffs without winning a single playoff game, which I told him would happen. And then I couldn't find a brother for 3 months. That's the kind of guy he is. Then he hides. Michael Irvin hides. He's just skating around all the time. You can't find him anywhere and stuff like that. When they lose. Now, when they win, he got in a cowboy hat. He's sticking out his chest. He's bloviating all over the place. He got his playmaker segment and all that, sweating and breathing, acting like he's still on the field. You understand? Sweating through his suits and all of this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, Dallas falls, and you can't find him. There's an APB out for him. You can't find him anywhere. That's exactly what's going to happen as these playoffs get set to roll on. We're going to hear from him over the next 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
I get that. But trust you me, come January, you're going to be able to find Michael Irvin for about 5-6 months.
Well, we're going to be able to find him, as I mentioned, in about 20 minutes at the top of the hour on First Take. That is the great Stephen A. Smith. Thanks for joining us
My
here
pleasure,
on Get
man.
Up this morning. Enjoy First Take.